for staying with us. Now, as Namibia's oil and gas sector gains momentum, there is a strong focus on developing the necessary skills for its success. Selected government officials and industry stakeholders are participating in health, safety, security, and environment training to meet regulatory requirements and conduct inspections of offshore oil and gas sites. Now, to discuss this, I'm now joined in studio by PetroFund Chief Executive Officer Nillian Mulemi. Mulemi, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, of course, we do know that PetroFund is responsible for, developing expertise within Namibia's upstream oil and gas industry. But before we delve into that, how would you describe, the momentum that the country has built around the oil and gas sector so far?
If I had to describe it in one word, it would be extremely exciting. It's a geoscientist and geophysicist's dream, but at the same time, it's a host nation's blessing. Discoveries of oil and gas, if you are successful in achieving that, you should celebrate as a country, because these are investments that are highly risky. But as a country, we've managed to drill, discover oil in a safe manner. But what is also very important is that we've managed as a country to attract global exploration capital into the country to conduct the drilling. What it also means is that we've managed to attract international oil companies that have taken up the risk in order to drill. What does it mean for us as a country? It has also created opportunities for ourselves, created opportunities for us to upskill ourselves, created opportunities for us to ensure that we start collaborating with each other, but also has created opportunities for us to strengthen our own institutions.
Speaking about skills, of course, we do know that a skilled workforce and the training required for this particular industry to thrive cannot be overemphasized. And I do know that PetroFund has also been at the forefront to ensure that Namibia does reap the intended benefits from this particular sectors. I do recall maybe 2 months ago, PetroFund did send a batch of students to Angola, BTC students to Angola, to, of course, sharpen their skills in certain fields, just to also partake in this particular sector here back at home. Could you just perhaps also just expand on some of the efforts that PetroFund has made in the advancement of this particular sector in regards to skills capacity?
Thank you. Thank you very much. We typically have 2 mandates. One is to build skills for Namibia's oil and gas industry, and the second one is to strengthen our institutions. Under the mandate of building skills for Namibia's oil and gas industry, we have one of our oldest scholarship programs in the country, which is funded by the oil and gas industry. Under this program, we have trained a lot of Namibians, in excess of 300, primarily in skills that were required to support the stage of the oil and gas industry, which is exploration. As the oil and gas industry migrates into appraisal, hopefully field development, and who knows, production, it has become important that we roll out the full value chain of all other skills. Hence, we sent Namibians to Angola through a collaboration with some of our stakeholders, where we trained oil and gas TVET crew, as well as fitters and turners. We also have a team of Namibians that we are training in the Rustabout and Roughneck programs that are stationed in Indonesia at the moment. We also have various other oil and gas programs that we roll out both at undergraduate level but also at master's level. But also, it has become important that institutions are strengthened. Hence, we've also branched out and introduced a program where we are strengthening all those critical government officials that render regulated support services to the oil and gas industry.
And those were part of the training today. And of course, during the your opening day of the training, you extensively highlighted or touched on the effective regulatory services. How imperative is this for, efficiency, transparency, and perhaps also just timely operations? And how are we faring in this regard as Namibia?
First and foremost, for exploration, we were okay because the level of demand of accessing regulatory services was not very high. But as we migrate the industry from exploration to production, the demand can only increase. It is therefore very important that all the institutions that offer services that are regulated, that can only be accessed from government bodies, ensure that they are aware of what is expected of them, that they render the services timely. They also render the services in a transparent manner. But this can only happen if they are also adequately trained.
And of course, you also, let me just quote you, where you highlighted that services that are highly sought can only be accessed from a regulated body which requires various key attributes, if I'm not mistaken. What are some of these particular attributes, and what are some of the consequences should they be not applied?
Right. Attributes that are very important is transparency. Everyone needs to have knowledge of how that service is accessed and where it is accessed. Another attribute is efficiency. You want, when you access that service, it must be accessed in a timely manner, meaning that the turnaround times must be very good. It also must be accessed in an ethical manner, meaning that everybody must know what they are supposed to do at a certain time. In the absence of that, you are going to introduce unorthodox methods of accessing a service which is public. And in this case, this is where you are now going to introduce unwanted actions like bribery, corruption, and all that. And if you know the value of goods and services that are going to be handled by the oil and gas industry, once you allow for such unorthodox methods to be part of the system, it becomes very difficult to get rid of them. And there are experiences in other jurisdictions that are constantly reminding us that this is a great opportunity for us as a country to make sure that we mitigate such unwanted methods by making sure that we train people and we put in place methods, systems, and governances that are solid, that we can all audit because they are there and we are aware of them.
And of course, the participants are privy to hear from experts, industry experts, and oil and gas industry experts, of course. What are some of the expectations upon completion for the participants?
It's our wish that when the crew that we have identified completes the training, it's a 3-day training. It's a training that will also give them an opportunity to be offered with offshore survival training. We are going to facilitate that they are flown to South Africa for them to experience what it means to be cleared to work offshore. We'll also ensure that they are given an opportunity to be cleared medically so that they know what it means to work in the oil and gas industry in terms of the expectation from an HSSE perspective. After that, it's our ambition that they are going to be fully informed about what is expected of them. They will understand the challenges that we have experienced as the oil and gas industry in accessing services. We also expect that this is an opportunity for us to come up with measures to mitigate the challenges. We are also saying that we've never had an oil and gas industry. What we've had as a system to save various sectors of the oil and gas industry, and at the stage where the oil and gas industry was, which is exploration, it worked well. But we are saying this is a very great opportunity for us to reflect and try to interrogate whether the current system as is fit for purpose. And so far, by the day we closed today's session, we were all very clear that it will benefit from enhancements.
Firstly, is it fully funded already? And also the second question would be, how will PetroFund ensure that these particular participants actually give back?
Yes, the program is fully funded for those that have been identified as critical. We also extended an invite to institutions that were willing to commit funds for their employees if they wanted to send more, that they were welcome to do so. The PetroFund board set aside 629,000 Namibian dollars to offer this training to the crew that was identified. Going forward, we intend to continue offering it, but I'm afraid we will require that at least basic operational costs are covered when we invite our stakeholders to participate. So our intention is to make sure that we continue offering it, but of course, at a minimal cost.
All right. Well, Ms. Mulemi, unfortunately, we have run out of time, but I thank you so much for your time and information this evening, and all the best with the training.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that was the PetroFund Chief Executive Officer, Nillian Mulemi, discussing the training they're offering the oil and gas sector as it gains momentum and the country prepares itself for more investments. Coming up next are the financial indicators.